So let's talk about the difference between traditional Medicare versus Medicare Advantage, because a lot of people really don't know the difference between the two of them. So let's start with traditional Medicare. This is a federal plan in 1965 signed into law by LBJ. And every time you worked, the government would take a little bit of money out of your paycheck and would put it towards this fund for traditional Medicare. So when you turned 65, the government basically acted as your insurance company and would pay for your treatments, the doctors that you visited. Now, typically, like most government plans, it was inefficient, became bloated, and the government just couldn't run it anymore. So what they decided to start doing is to take your taxpayer money and give it to their favorite lobbyists in the private health insurance industry. And now, these private companies are giving out their own Medicare Advantage plans. So these plans are a little different. They restrict the doctor you can see, they restrict the treatments you can get, and the doctors that you can see, it'll probably take you months to get into because there's not that many of those doctors in their network to begin with. And it's done on purpose that way, because they don't want you to get the health care that you need. That way they get to keep the money for profits. So you would think the government, after failing to administer regular Medicare, would do the right thing and stop taking money from the people, let the people keep the money, and decide on their own who they want to give their money for their health insurance. But instead, what they decided to do was to take your money and give it off to their favorite lobbyists in the health insurance industry. See, this is not just a problem in healthcare. This happens in all sorts of industries where the private sector lobbies the government to take your taxpayer money to enrich themselves. This is called corporatism. It's really a polite way of saying economic fascism. Now, I work in healthcare. I can tell you about how it works here. Now, we're not going to be able to just completely revamp the entire system. But in this series of videos, I'm going to try to help you guys to figure out what's the best plan for you and how to navigate this corrupt and broken system.